in my lungs, please, and thank you are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test. Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested. Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost. Jake won't let you see your mentions. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the teat of the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this
You
at
didn't
all.
set me up right.
You probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism! And they say, they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid? Ay.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you. Polite
It's
about
just
it.
not the polite way to have sex.
That's just
I-
really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say, that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it. Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as
ultimate.
hell. Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight.
Louder, it sounds good. Hello, Street Fighters. Welcome to the show. It's another live stream, podcast, however you may listen. We're here again. Setup is changing a lot. We had Nick Hayes from Means TV on the call-in show. He was down here. We just put together our new studio for our TV show coming soon. We've got Simone Norman, you know her as Local Honey on Instagram, and Cartoon the News working with us, and Drew Spears, one of our favorites and funniest guys we know. Also the host of the Self-Care podcast with Kate Raft. Those two are going to be helping us out, putting out material,
there's a lot of stuff coming in the way, and whatever. I'm getting lost. So, a lot of you have wondered about the setups. I know we had some weird issues during the transitional period. We've got a permanent desk here to do our podcast, and we are working on finalizing all of this, and we'll be done. And then you don't have to give us any more criticism on our setup, because once we finish it, that's done. Thank you for listening to the show. You can always watch and chat along with the show by going to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. You can watch along. There's a lot of cool people that hang out in the chat, and they usually correct all of my mistakes. Like when I said the choke on it thing was from Dawn of the Dead, that's actually from Day of the Dead. So thank you, chatters, for keeping me honest. I still look haggard because I've been working like crazy today, but I'm ready to do the show. I've been waiting to do it all day. It's going to be a good one. How you doing, Brian?
I'm good. I found a guy. So
a guy,
Todd White. He's a preacher, and I was just so my YouTube algorithm now gives me shock jocks, preachers, and heavy metal.
Okay,
3 things that I mean makes sense, really.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, and this Todd White guy was preaching at a death metal concert, so I looked him up, and he is quite a looker, this guy.
Recently?
Yeah, very white guy dreads. 2 months ago he did this. So you got to look at this guy's dreads if you get a chance. Todd White, preacher.
Is he
Christian?
Like a cool guy? He's a okay. You got to see this, folks.
Yeah, I told you.
Jake will make this the photo for the article, I'm guessing. But yeah, this is
he's a guy. He's definitely a guy.
Well, I mean, says he was a drug addict and an atheist for 22 years, and he turned his life around. So that's a great grift. Like, if we could turn our lives around too and make money off Jesus someday.
Yeah, you gotta wait a little while. You gotta really go down the hole there.
You gotta have some. You gotta have some real bad stories to brag about how bad you were.
Yeah. I start the show this week, I guess, with a little update on my situation. Cars. Okay. So the last you heard from me, the car was at Tuffy. Well, no. The last they heard of me, the car hadn't gone anywhere, right?
Yes.
I took the car to Tuffy, and they did an oil change on it, and they said, you know what? I think it's fixed.
Oh, yeah, that's usually all those cars need anyways.
Yeah, they were like, the oil was dirty. I'm like, I just put the oil in. Like, I don't think the oil was dirty. So they charged me $155.
Okay, is that how much oil change costs these days?
Don't believe me. That's what I was thinking at the time. I think that came with the diagnostic.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like they were like, oh yeah, we had to drive the car around the block 3 times, and we decided to change your oil. So I was like so relieved, and I got up and I walked to the car care place, and I grabbed my car, I drove it around the neighborhood a little bit, and I was like, this is fucking great. The car's fixed. It was just an oil change. I got out of this for $155. Now there was a part of the conversation that is something you never want to hear at a mechanic. And what it was, if this doesn't work, you're going to have to take it to the dealership.
Tuffy said that?
Yeah.
The dealership?
Yes. So
dealership, man, that's the worst.
That's bad
the
news.
Most expensive.
Yeah, and they were like, a lot of times it's the engine, and they just got to replace the whole engine. So they might do it for free, though. Is what the guy said, and I was like, I don't know about that.
They give out free engines these days? I didn't know that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So I'm
Pop a new one in there.
Yeah. So I.
Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you talk.
I can remember. You also said what stuck out to me, which made me laugh, was the guy pulled up your VIN and went, "This ain't in warranty."
Yeah, that was at the dealer.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. I'm sorry. I thought it was the Tuffy guy.
So I left Tuffy and I jumped on the freeway because my wife was like, Glenn wants some bagels, and the bagel place is in Bexley, the Good Bagel place. It was about a 20-minute drive. I was like, you know what? This is a great way to test out the car. I'll jump on the freeway and I'll go to get the bagels for the kids. Spend $20 on bagels, right?
Yeah.
Jump in the car, get on the freeway, not fixed. Car is definitely not fixed.
Like making noises or what?
It was grinding. The transmission was still grinding, and it wasn't like accelerating and stuff.
You had to manually shift it still?
I did. And I did tell them, like, hey, the car wasn't accelerating right. I didn't say that it was a problem shifting. So I kind of feel like it was partially my fault that they thought it was fixed. So I didn't call and yell at them. Like, I would never do that. I first of all, I would never call and yell at somebody, but I didn't even call and ask for money back or anything like that, because it was just like...
Well, yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like in those type of things, like, I've know what it's been like to be on the other side. And you don't want to force somebody to do work on your car.
No.
You don't want to force somebody to do something that they aren't willing to do. Especially at a place where they're going to make so much money off of you.
Yes. So I jumped in the car, and it starts grinding and stuff. I jump right off that freeway, and I just drive home and park it. And I stand in my driveway for a minute, or my alley, and then I'm like, okay, I'll check the transmission fluid, because that is a thing that you can go buy and pour in your car.
It's something to eyeball.
Yeah.
Something to look at. It's just more information.
I go online and I watch one video where the guy pulls the transmission fluid dipstick out of the car, and he looks at it. He tells you how to check it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. I open the hood. I look. No dipstick.
Okay.
I couldn't find it.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, maybe I need to search up my specific
year.
I
have that problem too.
And I found a video, and the video said how to check transmission fluid in a 2015 to 2019 Kia Soul.
Got it.
And I was like, so this is the video I need, because mine's a 2015 Kia Soul. I go to check it, and this guy is like, well, first, and he peels a banana. He's like, yeah, you eat this banana, you know? You got to have your potassium and
energy, right?
He's just being funny.
I mean, you know, I think part of the reason that my dad would always scream at me from underneath of the car is he's probably a little hungry. He's been stuck underneath the vehicle for 4 hours, dropping shit in his eyes. Bolts are missing now, and I'm standing in his light.
Yeah, asking if you can help when you physically can't help, number one, and number two, you're just slowing everything down. And he's pissed, you know? That was a thing that really, like, my dad's like a kind of, I don't know how to describe him. He's not like a yeller. You know what I mean? He doesn't get really super mad.
Sure.
Very much. He's got a constant hum of anger that runs through his body that is very obvious every time you meet him.
Who?
My dad.
I don't
You
agree.
don't see that?
No?
I see a constant hum of like some kind of antisocial behavior that's angry and hates people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're like disappointed, like that it's his life or something, maybe, or just like annoyed that he has to do what he's doing. Maybe.
Right. So I remember he would be working on something in the house. Did a lot of home improvement. He didn't work on cars, but him and my stepmom would do home improvement all the time.
Sure.
You know, when I was younger, I would try to help out a little bit, and just the frustration in him. And I would be like, I'm just trying to fucking help, dude. Right. You know?
I'm a helping hand. I'm an extra pair of hands.
Yeah. And then my daughter started messing with me when I was fixing shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, now I know why they get mad.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Oh, did you think to do this? No, I didn't, you 7-year-old.
Yeah, they're like, you know, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Do you know that one?
Yeah. You don't fucking know anything. You know, Gwen pulled on me the other day. I said, she's cutting a cantaloupe. And I go, ugh, I hate cantaloupe. You know? I don't even like the smell of it. I just think it's a gnarly fruit, really.
Which one?
Cantaloupe.
That's the filler. That's what I always thought. That's like 90% of a fruit salad. They throw that lope in there.
It's so gross. It tastes like
that honeydew, whatever's cheaper.
Yeah, I was telling somebody it tastes really. It has like a dull flavor. You know, like
it has a great texture, but it it tastes like tofu. Like
90% of the time rotten. 90% of the time that shit tastes rotten to me.
That's also, I've also been on the Instagrams and TikToks and Pinterest where they're like, give it a nice knock on the side or smell the little opening, and then you open it up. It's fucking gross.
None of that works, by the way. None of it. None of the checking the fruit, because none of the fruit's good at the supermarket. None of it. There isn't good fruit at the supermarket. You just can't get it. You gotta pick that shit off a tree, dude.
No, that's not true.
There's no good food at the supermarket. I'm just telling you. Fruit? Yeah.
Strawberries are bad?
I mean, they don't taste as good as, like, the real deal strawberries. You know?
Where do you get real deal strawberries?
Out of a garden?
Those ones are tiny and they're shitty. They're like little deer. That's deer food. That ain't real strawberries. You need those, like, overgrown Monsanto ones that are like a nice 4-ounce strawberry.
Yeah.
I think strawberries are, the problem is that they're a roll of the dice. Sometimes you smell them and it smells so juicy and good and you bite into it and it just tastes like wood pulp.
Yeah, yeah. So
bananas are good.
I love them. I love bananas. I do like them. I just don't think there is. I've heard stories about mangoes, right? Where it's like you buy a mango at the store and you're like, dude, this mango tastes like nothing. It's really boring mango flavor. And then I have heard that if you go to the Caribbean or wherever they grow, I guess I said just a random place that I thought they grew, that if you eat them, they're very good because they're indigenous to that place. And there's nothing in Ohio that's indigenous except for pawpaws and apples.
Here's the thing. Mangoes are like a house plant. And that when you buy them, it's going to take 4 to 12 days before they're good.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
You have to check in every single day, and when the moment strikes, you have to take it. They're like avocados. Like, you have a 6-hour window where they're baller. But, like, you have to rearrange your whole food day whenever your mangoes get ripe. You got to have a lassi for dinner or afterwards or something. Like, I like mangoes still.
Okay.
But they don't hit. I don't know. I like dried mangoes a lot.
Okay, so I go like this. I hate them. And you know what he says? You know what my daughter, 15, by the way, she goes like this. She goes, you probably never even had a good one before. And I'm like, no, that's things adults say to kids. Kids, you gotta
She said what?
She's like, you probably never had a good cantaloupe before. And I'm like, motherfucker, all the things you won't try in this world, that is a phrase that's only allowed to be said by people with children. You're not allowed to say that. And like a 15-year-old has no room to be telling me I never tried a good cantaloupe before.
It's a great line. It's a great way to shame people. I guess, I do exclude a huge food group of meat, but I do eat almost anything else under the sun. And I do not let people complain about food in front of me. Like, as soon as they do it, I just start shutting that shit down immediately until they get the message.
He will give you grief. Yeah,
I fucking hate it. But that is mostly to kids though, and my wife, which is rude. But I have gotten better at it. But I remember one time my mother-in-law told me this amazing story about Erica, where she was like, I remember when you were a teen and you were down here giving me advice on how to clean the house, like the most efficient way to pick up and stuff. And your room was a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
And my wife is a super messy person, but she sure can tell somebody how to clean,
Oh, I know.
Me too. We're alike. That's why we're together.
Yeah, I mean, I just took a picture of the studio to show people how close we are to having it all set up. We have the podcasting station, we got the TV station, we got all this stuff. And people are like, God, that looks filthy. And it's like, well, it is, but we've got a decade worth of shit in here that we have to purge.
Yeah, and like I said, I was saying this before the show, but my cleaning style is what I call sifting. And I usually I usually have a mess that I make and I know where everything's at in the mess. But when I have to clean stuff up, I have to hold every single item. And what I do is I take items from one side of the room. If I don't know what to do, I put them on the clean side of the room. And when I do this process like over 4 or 5 times, then things start ending up in the same boxes together and a lot of shit gets thrown away. But this is 9 years of crap and things that I've been hanging on to, and it has been so fucking much. And there's so many cables. I'm a hoarder about cables. I had a Zune video cable.
I know. He did.
I was like, where's the Zune? I'll fire that Zune up. There's probably some good fucking movies on there.
He did. He was like, what is this? And he was like, oh, that's for the Zune. And it's like, what the fuck do you have Zune stuff for in this house?
iPods, man, you couldn't put anything on them. The Zune, you could load all your stolen movies on, take it to someone's house, bring the cable, and you could plug right in. You're tripping on acid watching Holy Mountain with the boys and girls.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a little aside here. But yeah, so I got the car on the freeway. I decide I'm going to take it to the dealership. I'm going to eat the cost of the oil change. And I'm going to take this fucking thing to the dealership. I get to the dealership, and I drop it off, and it's there, and they have not called me with a quote yet. I'm very nervous about this, but that is the state of the car. We're in a state of flux right now. I have no car, which is not fun.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, I have Brett's car, but that to me is also not fun because it's like now he's suffering because I don't have.
I'm not suffering. I never leave this place, and I have 13 bicycles in a shed, an electric bicycle, a longboard, a short board. I have like every vehicle you could ever want. I'm fine. And I live right next to the fucking CVS.
I was just like, I'm gonna start using this fucking thing. I'm gonna just start using the scooters. You know, I'm just gonna not buy a car and just use scooters all the time. I'm gonna get a little wagon to drag behind me to get my groceries and just fuck it. We're a scooter family now.
Why? Let's get set up with a bike. I can help you look for a bike.
My sweet wife does not have a bike. My daughter does have a bike.
Yes.
I do not because I don't like bikes. So
what? Okay. What don't you like about them?
I like walking more. I'm just a walker guy.
Dude,
you know,
I'm not.
Walker,
I
Texas
didn't
Ranger.
say replace all of your walking with bicycling. I'm saying you can get a trailer and go to the store and pick up groceries on a bike.
Yeah, I still gotta have a car though to get.
You were just pitching me on scooters instead of a car.
Right, that's an immature solution to a horrible problem that I have. I do need the car still. I'm never going to be able to talk Gwen into scooters instead of car. You know, especially with October being her 16th birthday. This is why the car situation is such a dire situation, right? It's like, okay, so if this thing is going to cost $100 or $1,000, if this is 10 years ago, I'm just fucking trading it in and getting a new car. Fuck it, who cares? You know, I'll roll the loan over into the next loan and I'll just get a new car.
Yeah.
The fucking problem with that is if I don't fix it, right? Like, then I'm not going to be able to get her a car when it comes time for her to have a car.
You're going to need 2 cars.
Yeah, I need 2 cars. And this car's almost paid off. And that car will, and if I get a new one, you know, we start back over from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, plus with an extra $6,000 on it.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I understand.
So,
but, you know,
it's just
the bus, if you can combo the bus, the scooters, a bicycle, like I do a pretty good job trying to keep the miles off the car.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish I did that. I don't drive very much. It's just when you need to drive, you need to drive.
Yeah,
you know?
The other cool thing is there's like a car rental place a block away from here.
Oh, well, I have one pretty close to my house too.
See, I mean, that's the thing is I think if you need a car, you could probably just rent one for $40 a day once a week, and that's cheaper than having insurance and a car payment.
Yeah, I got to tell you what, if you pitch this to Katie, then I would love to watch the look on her face as you explain this to her.
Sure.
Because she's old-fashioned, dude. It took 10 years to get her to move downtown.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Just old-fashioned.
No, I mean, when you have a child and you have errands to do for yourself, your family, you can't really just take like a wonderful 45-minute bus ride and listen to, you know, the Shins and just like gleefully laugh to yourself.
I got to get here too. And like that wouldn't be a problem, but I got to get home.
Yeah.
Is the issue. And I don't want to walk till 3 a.m.
We're also in a bad time for, like, you don't want to do ride sharing. Like, that's another thing too.
I'm not
where
doing
like
that.
You could knock it out. You spent once again $50 a week on Lyfts or Ubers. That wouldn't be nothing, but fucking, you wouldn't. We'd be doing it remotely if you started doing that.
Yeah, yeah. So,
a moped, dude. Mopeds you can get in for a couple hundred. You can check YouTube and shit.
I mean, I still got the wife and kid.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm trying to sell the wife and kid on shit. You know, which is just it's been impossible to sell them. You know, it took 5-6 years to cord cut. This kind of stuff takes a long time. And I mean, there is a certain amount of freedom that comes with having a car. And I'm the guy that drives and does all the stuff. So, like, I guess it's just like, I don't know. Because I think about it a lot. It's like, why do we live downtown and have a car?
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I got a story here from loudwire.com.
Oh, I wanted to say, just to remind everybody how I fucked up your story. The funny thing about that guy telling you the warranty thing to me is like, that's the rudest shit in the world. When they're just, when you walk in and immediately their attitude is like, oh, this is the place that fucks you up in the bank account.
Yeah,
when
they
they're like,
know.
hey, you're not in warranty. Oh, your jaw's gonna drop when you see this bill. We offer special financing, you know, at a pretty low. They slide a pamphlet like you're not in warranty, and then they slide a pamphlet over.
No, they didn't even do that yet. They were just like, well, yeah, get ready for that phone call, baby.
There was a Honda, the car one. I don't remember what it's called, Forte. But there was a huge one in Texas, and they had little tiny rooms where they would just take you in and just like wring money out of you.
I know. That's what I'm
like
waiting
little private
for.
cells where they can just torture you until you're like, all right, whatever. Just I need this fucking thing fixed.
I mean, the hope for me is like maybe it's like something like a piece of the fuel injector or something. I am like thinking of all different kinds of things that cost much less than. I'm thinking of about a bunch of different things that cost much less than a whole new transmission, which is what I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah.
Just because I do know that the transmission is the thing that shifts the gears.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
gear
that's pretty-
shifting isn't happening correctly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're the biggest gearheads or mechanics or handy people on this show, but I do know what the transmission does.
Yeah.
I did attempt to build that little clear engine at one point and gave up like a quarter of the way
What's
through.
that?
Oh, there used to be in the model kit section where where you like build models and stuff. You would build a whole engine
I'm doing it.
that you could turn, and it would show the pistons. It was clear, so you could see the pistons going inside and out. You could see the cams lifting and all this stuff like that.
I'm gonna get one of those. I need to learn how this stuff works.
Yeah,
That's like kind of I need to know this now. I'm getting one. I mean, obviously we're not spending any money right now, but we're holding off. I did get my caramellos today.
okay. Well, that probably was comforting.
Oh yeah, two boxes. There's
There.
18 in each. 38.
wish-
I think that's 38. No, 36. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for this, for you doing this.
No, I just love
you've
'em.
created a fucking sensation.
Really, people are into the mellow.
So it's annoying.
They've joined the mellodrome.
I had to sign out because I was getting so mad because I'm just like, it's chocolate and melted sugar. It's like such a
So good.
and Erica was like, "Is that caramello thing?" She pointed it out when we were at CVS, and I looked at the price and I was just like, "This is fucking outrageous."
I know.
What is going on here?
The mellows are expensive.
You get into the hard shit.
I know. They're not as expensive as some of the other treats I've gotten in my day. You know.
Okay.
Sometimes I get into pretty expensive treats. These are relatively cheap treats, but I mean, it once the 2 boxes of them came to my house, I was like, I think I'm too far in mellow world.
That's a lot of mellows to eat.
I mean, I'll eat them. Trust me.
But this also seems like sabotaging some of your success that you've had.
True. Yes.
You need to get like a tackle box that you can separate it all for like days of the month, like how much mellow you get.
Yeah.
Like you need one of those pill things.
Yeah, but for mellow.
But for caramellos.
Yeah. Like I just need 36 locked things that only open.
Like an advent calendar.
Yeah.
Like a personal responsibility advent calendar.
Somebody help me figure out how to hide the mellows from myself.
I could put like a couple grams of dab, like a quarter of a gram of dab in there, so I don't do a whole one every day.
Yeah.
Not that I do that. That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah. So, first story from Loudwire. After months of absurd Twitter battles, vocal Trump support, trying to fight Ice-T, and blaming George Floyd for his own death, Chris Taylor Brown finally has the first week numbers for Trap's latest album, Shadow Work. What do you think okay. One, it is not fair to judge bands on album sales now, right? We're going to agree on that.
Yeah.
But bands do sell albums now, right?
Well, there is an amount. I think that you just have to adjust for the time period we're in, you know?
Yeah. Let's look at how much The Nothing sold.
Okay.
Which is same genre.
Yes.
And we'll find out what a normal number is for an album now.
It's Brian, if you want to look for it, it's called the Revel Visible V8. That's the model kit to rebuild a V8.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna build one. Watch, everybody's gonna be like, God damn, Brian. Okay.
Man, they have a Ford. Fuck, they have like the Ford show. At Target. Sorry, go ahead.
This is sort of depressing for the people to hear The Nothing by Korn. 33,000 album equivalent units. Which that's a lot. I would love to sell 33,000 of anything.
I think considering that most people are never buying albums, honestly, me and you buy albums because it's a bourgeois thing to do at this point. If I was in my 20s and I would be stealing music just like I did and never giving money to people, you know?
Well,
especially, even bands like Korn are at a point where I'm like, I'm not going to cry a river for any of the people in that band as far as their money goes. I spend my money on up-and-coming artists and smaller labels is usually where I spend my music money. But at the end of the day, I'm a small population, I feel like.
Okay, it says the album has sold 68,000 copies in the U.S. I think that was the debut was 33,000. So basically, the last Korn album sold 68,000 copies. Now, Trapped, same genre. Look, not as big. Probably, though, same amount of radio play. I would guess, because Headstrong, that motherfucking song is still getting played.
I would say Headstrong is enough of a song to get people into the album, and I think that the guys that were younger at that time never gave it up.
They're still buying Breaking Benjamin albums, you know?
Yeah, well, they still rule.
People are still... what I'm saying is, so album sales are pretty low, obviously. In the U.S., worldwide, I just was listening to something the other day with Paulo from Trivium, and he was saying that, actually in, Japan and Germany and stuff, they still sell, a decent amount of CDs.
I have been... It's oddly enough, through coronavirus, we've been looking for albums to buy, and I've had 2 now that I bought from Germany because they never printed them here.
Yeah, I've been having that with the metal albums.
Too,
it's very hard. Grease 2?
Grease.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie Grease 2 soundtrack.
Love that movie.
I was like, hey, check it out.
That's a great movie.
Motorcycle Boy, right?
Yeah. That is the superior Grease.
Okay.
I watched it on vacation last year and was immediately this is the one.
I love Grease.
Grease 2.
So, how many albums do Brett? I want you to guess with that base level knowledge of where Korn was. Where do we think first album sales? And again, we're 33,000 for first week sales. First week sales. Billboard 200.
Honestly, I would say that they're probably a quarter of the band that Korn is.
Well, hey, I can give you a hint too. I can give you a hint. On Twitter, Brown, the lead singer, predicted moving at least 5,400 copies of Shadow Work in its first week. So that's a forecast for you to know. He was looking to sell 5,000.
Okay.
About 5,500. I mean, that's a weird number, 5,400. How did you come up with that number? You know?
Yeah, somebody must have multiplied data or something from some Bean Counter was well, we have this amount of people on our email list, and there's a penetration level of 2% that'll buy.
They have been promoting this album a lot. I will say that the promotion for this album has been pretty stellar when you think about promotion as coverage or coverage as promotion. You know what I mean? These guys are in 2020. Trapped is a constant subject of conversation.
That's what I was going to say next. Is I figured they bolstered themselves quite a bit of fans with their right wing like popularity this year. I think this is a brilliant way to get people on board with your band.
If you want to make a shitload of money, you get the conservatives on your side. They're out buying Goya beans like nobody's fucking business right now.
There's a lot of extra money, and they'll put like they started buying Kanye West stuff as soon as he put on the hat. They were like, this Yeezus fucking bangs.
Yeah.
So like it's I really would expect there to be more fervor, and people want to support that shit.
Yeah. So a lot of free marketing, I think. I think even like the cable news channels are covering them too. The
what?
The cable news channels are talking about Trapped.
I mean, like fucking Pitchfork and a few other people like reported on, and that's also, I mean, that's also works in a way where someone reads this like, oh, someone pissed off the Pitchfork readers. What cool band is this?
Yep. So what number?
They're contrarians. Like they literally just will do it if we say we don't like them. So I thought Trap had enough hatred built up. 5,500 would be, fucking great.
I mean, I think that's good for a band that hasn't had a successful album in fucking 20 years.
What's an album, though? Like a CD? Are you talking about buying a CD or a record?
Yeah, buying albums. Or album
digital?
equal. I think digital counts in there, too. Buying it digitally, not streaming it digitally. And I think they somehow take those streaming numbers and factor those in, too. Although that might not be true because I'll bet you some of the streaming platforms are pretty tight-lipped about the numbers. But Spotify does say how many streams an album has had on the site.
Yeah.
Like, you can look at how many times people have listened to stuff. So, I
think they take streaming into account for charts, but I don't think you could call that a sale.
Okay, so how many would you guess they sold?
I mean, they thought they were going to do 5,000.
5,400 copies.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel on the spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could be good, could be bad. I'm guessing it's going to be abysmal is why we're talking about this. I'm going to say they did 1,000. Lower than 1,000. Lower than 1,000. 500?
Oh.
Up 600.
Yep. They sold 600 Here's the thing. We're more famous than Trapped now.
It counts, yeah.
And they can't. That is proof that don't put your eggs in a conservative basket, I guess is the thing. The entertainers that are like, oh, I'll be the conservative version of something, Don't do that. That doesn't... It never translates. It doesn't translate to any staying power or anything like that. Those people aren't going to buy Trapped albums because you say Trump is good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think... And then you get into this point... You get into this way where you're just only making things to be... Make America Great Again slogans.
Yeah.
You can't really make original stuff anymore because you're just trying to... trigger libs or spread your message of how great Trump is.
But I mean, what is the goal of a guy like this that is... what is the end game for these guys? What do they think is going to happen?
Can I
interrupt
you? Sorry.
Okay.
Will you help a listener out in the chat?
What do I need to do?
Somebody's never heard of Trap. Do you think you could give them the opening line? I can do the guitar a little bit.
Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are gone, but this is not where you belong. It's TRAPT. It is sort of Linkin Park, sort of It's Linkin Park-ish.
But it's more, it's like amateur wrestlers, like high school wrestlers song. Like, it's also like,
it's only one song.
people that want to get in a bar. It's a bar fight song. Like any movie, like it's probably been like any Tom Hardy fight is, you could just put that song in it.
Yeah.
He did the MMA movie, right? Wasn't
Warrior.
it in there?
Was Trapped in that?
Trapped was in an MMA movie.
Okay, I'm gonna look up Trapped in movies. But yeah, I mean, I brought this up because I just wonder, like, when are people gonna stop trying this grift? I don't think this grift works, you know? So, I mean, it's just not the it's not the smartest thing. I'm looking to see.
Didn't he also say that it was going to be one of the best albums ever made?
He did. He also said, I'll get it for you. I'll read the rest of this. In 2018, an official poll by Ultimate Guitar saw the site's users rate Headstrong as having the fourth worst riff of all time.
Whoa!
I mean, that's cruel. That's unnecessarily cruel because that's not a bad riff.
Honestly,
generic,
now that when you sang it, I was like, this is getting worse. The best part is the back off, I'll take you on.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
riff sucks.
Then there's nothing else.
The riff sucks.
The riff. I was trying to do the riff when I was thinking. I was like, what are they doing here? Yo, you can play it. Yeah,
we can play like the first part of it.
We can just play
without getting pulled.
We won't get pulled. They just take away our ad money, and they like silent. Trapped will get money basically.
Oh,
well, help them out,
hey,
man.
good for you.
Dude,
Yeah, they sold 600 albums.
4 guys in the band, and they got all these people around them, and they probably made $5,000 or something. I mean, if they made $10 an album, they are doing better than anybody's ever done in the music industry. So
you can play like 10 seconds of a song so they can hear the riff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, I love I forgot
Sucks.
that part. Yeah, it's such a soft song.
It is. It's not
also
heavy.
Pathetic. It took 2 guys to make that song. One guy's going bub up, and then the other one's going ding it, and they're just going back and forth.
It's not a heavy riff at all.
No, that's a soft ass song. Like that guy.
It's like easy listening. It's like John said this about Disturbed on the last POD cast, but it's metal for people that don't like metal.
It is.
They don't want to hear something heavy,
right?
You know, they just want to be like, "Hey, man, I'm really listening to a lot of metal right now."
Yeah.
So that's the riff.
It's office worker metal. I mean, this is somebody that wishes they would go tell their boss. They could storm into the office and say, "You were rather rude in that meeting."
Yeah.
Like that, they're listening to that.
I jumped ahead a little.
All right. Reality, baby. When I was over, I see your motive inside.
Here it comes. This is a heavy part. So that's Trapped.
That's
right
Trapped.
there. That's what they sound like. It
For
sucks.
the young folks that don't know.
Yeah. 54 million. 52. That's another depressing thing, right? 52 million views on this YouTube video.
Yeah.
600 albums sold. you turned off millions of people.
Yeah.
That were potential buying the album people.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
not buying. They're not buying Trapped. You're gonna have to become. I think.
Someone said Old Navy loudspeaker metal.
Yeah. They're gonna. He's gonna go left. He's
You
gonna.
think so?
I
No,
think he
hell
could go
no.
left.
He's headstrong.
I think so.
Too headstrong.
I don't think he's that headstrong. I think he's gonna go left.
Where the money's at?
So.
Oh, they couldn't hear it on Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I
unfortunately.
just heard. So we don't
must
have
got-
audio.
Oh, we don't?
I mean, if we can't play if we couldn't play that, we can't play anything else.
I wonder if Twitch might have just blocked it out because they're listening to the show on there.
Yeah, but it's audio.
Oh, it's from your computer.
Yeah. Oh well.
Gotcha.
We got other stuff to do. Let's go to this cool story of teenage ingenuity. We can talk a little bit about what was going on with my kid too. I talked to her last night. I asked her who the 5 coolest kids in her school are.
Okay.
And
so
because I wanted
the coolest kids report.
I needed to know what my daughter thinks the coolest people are, because when you have a teenage kid, they don't think adults are cool at all. So you really got to find out what the teens are into. You know what I mean? I did find something new out for all you listeners that jewel and think that like that's like a cool teen thing. They don't jewel anymore. They do puff. Puffco, I think, or not Puffco.
No, Puffco sucks.
I searched it last night. Let me search it. It's
Is it tobacco? Is it nicotine?
It's nicotine. Their favorite flavor is banana ice. Puff bars. They like puff bars now. And
pre-filled, disposable. They got the kid flavors.
Oh, do they ever? They have like every kid flavor, But
we should give it a try.
Yeah, the kids are puffing. I mean, the local drug dealer, the local weed dealer, the local weed dealer sells puff bars. He buys them in bulk, and he sells banana ice puff bars. And all the kids in the neighborhood love the banana ice puff bars. I should go knock on his door and just be like, "Hey, man, can I get one of them puff bars?" And
do not ever do that.
I will not.
That's
do
big
that.
time jail.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, that is big time jail. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
anyway.
dude. Yeah, whatever you do, don't think like you're gonna go get in with the bad kids. I don't want you to like go out there and.
I'm not, but I do want people to know.
Some acid, guys. Oh, I got my own. I'm here to share.
I do want people to know that it's now puff bars. It's not jeweling. They're not jeweling anymore because you can only get tobacco flavored jewel pods. But with these, you can get yourself a nice little peach ice, banana. They're all ice for some reason.
Does that mean it hits harder or something?
I don't know. It's probably menthol. But I think about it and it's like banana menthol sounds terrible.
I mean, ice, it sells a lot of Gatorade.
That's true.
I mean, I think it just works and it sounds cool and refreshing. It's not cigarettes. It's not gross, disgusting, smelly cigarettes. It's blueberry ice.
Yeah. So that
Lush ice. What's Lush ice?
We got to get some. Order us a few. So that was one thing I learned. But when I asked her
grape,
who the cook, get us grape,
straight grape, no ice or anything. It's too good.
Regular
purple
ass grape. But we got to get a banana ice one though.
Okay.
We got to have a banana ice,
guava ice.
I know.
We're gonna get. See,
we
once again,
we're
doing so much advertising.
Who cares?
We would advertise cigarettes and caramellos, and we would be fine.
Yeah. So they So I asked what the coolest kids in school are, and she named them. I'm not gonna like name the kids or whatever, but I was like, okay, so what makes this person cool? The first person was a girl, and she's like, well, she wears whatever clothes she wants to wear.
Okay.
Such a teen answer, because it's like, you can also wear whatever clothes you want to wear.
It's when people tell me like, oh, I mean, I wish I could do that, but everybody else I know doesn't do that. And I'm like, what the fuck does that matter?
Trust me, being the person that does stuff can pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I understand when people are like, oh, I want to start I want to make a short film.
Sure.
Right? And then they don't get that done. Because that is like a hard thing. That is something that you have to dedicate many hours of your life, and many times you're working a job, and all that stuff is very hard. And I totally understand people putting off those sorts of things.
Large projects.
But when it comes to wearing clothes, you just can't let people decide what clothes you're going to wear.
Yeah.
It's just not. You need to decide what you're going to wear. And you know what I asked her? Because that was like 3 of the people. Oh, she just wears whatever clothes she wants.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what do they wear? What are these fucking clothes?
Are they wearing the clothes backwards again?
See, I'm going to fucking put that out there. Hey, kids, teens are wearing their clothes backwards. They should, though. They should do that again.
Crisscross again?
Bibs backwards.
Yeah.
Because that was like the fucking move. I remember when they used to show dance parties on TV. That was just like a type of show.
Oh, yeah.
There was Dance Party USA. There was... The
Grind.
The Grind. There was, Dance MTV or Club MTV. and which is a wild thing to show on TV, by the way. Just people dancing to music. Like a room full of people. It wasn't like people doing like really great, cool dances. It was just a room full of people just dancing.
No, it was great because it was all bad dancing. It was just people going like putting their arms around, and then they would try to mouth the words and they don't know it. Then there would be like one awesome person, like at a football game, like, you know, all of a sudden a camera gets on this person and they like stand on their seat and do a fucking backflip, and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Like
There was
one
always
guy
a
would
few
just do a
dancers.
fucking worm or something out of nowhere.
Yeah, there were always a few dancers that could actually do it. But the other thing that was in common with every single one of but the shirts. I said, what does she wear? Tie dye.
Tie dye.
That's it.
That's the wild. I thought, isn't that like wildly popular right now?
My daughter ain't wearing tie dye.
I've seen a ton of it.
That's what I said. I was like, why can't you wear tie dye? And she's like, no. It's a lot of colors.
Too loud?
Yeah. She
Okay.
likes wearing black and gray.
Okay.
Not my fault, by the way. I know that could be perceived as my fault. It is not my fault. I do not choose what my kid wears. And I don't think she thinks I'm cool and is modeling her look after me.
Uh-huh.
I think it's genetic, really. The Quinby line, the Quinby bloodline just likes black and blue and gray clothes.
Right.
I mean, you know my brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
Are we all that?
I think
think.
your brother,
My younger brother.
maybe I've seen him I've probably seen him in like a salmon shirt or like a mint green shirt.
Yeah, he would do that.
But mostly mostly
Gray.
blue.
They're blue.
He'll wear a blue flannel with some red in it, or maybe some white.
That makes it pop a little red. My older brother,
The Ohio uniform is just the flannel with the boots and the jeans. Like that's just what the standard is.
It is. That's the cool look. That's like I'm dressing up.
It's not the cool look.
for
It's
tonight.
the standard Ohio look.
You put on a flannel, you put on a nice T-shirt under it, you put the boots, and you put a pair of jeans on, and that is basically me putting on a tuxedo.
Right.
That's like when I have to dress
that's our
up.
That's when we go to funerals. When we have to go to a wedding.
Yeah. Are cargo pants okay?
Nice jeans.
They have to be jeans, right?
Yeah, we have nice jeans. So there's jeans that you wear every single day of your life that you wash like every 3 months, and then you have your nice jeans that you bring out and you like tuck a shirt into them. That's Ohio style too.
Yeah. So the other thing that all these kids had in common,
I just think I don't think it's a passing down genetics of colors. I think it's a passing down of don't look at me.
but
like,
I'm not like that.
Don't wear you won't like yellow or pink
yellow,
or whatever it is.
Yellow is a problem.
You have I don't know. I think it's just that I look weird. I just think it's just immediately the first thought is, does this look weird? And you're like, it might be. I thought it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I did when me and you first started hanging out. I was going through this thing where my wife had said, all you buy is black, blue, and gray clothes. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not buying any black, blue, or gray clothes. And then what happened was me and Brett went to see Sheer Mag, and we hung out with the band. And the dude from the band, Kyle, I think was his name.
Yes.
Can't remember. He from the band
I think.
gave us each a T-shirt.
Yes.
And I got a black one. And
Right.
it was the only black T-shirt I owned at that time. I had all different color T-shirts. And then I wore that fucking shirt out. I just was like, oh, it's clean. Fucking wear the Sheer Mag shirt.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, man? I just like black.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fucking apologize for liking black. I'm just going to wear all fucking black from now on. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what happened with me, was like I did go through that. But I do remember maybe when I first met you, you wore a purple shirt once. And I was like, what is this guy? You know? What?
Yeah.
You don't wear purple?
I'm very loud.
He is.
I
he is.
like, I mean, I do like to stand out. I was the person at your daughter's school who dyed my hair blue and had the tennis ball Airwalk sneakers.
But you're cool, though. I don't know why she can't realize that that's cool. Nobody in her school really is. There's no metal kids at her school.
No long hairs?
No. All the bad kids are rap kids.
Yeah.
And like even like the rapper that goes to her school, I'm not going to say the guy's name. There's a few of them. They're like rap kids. There's a guy that goes to her school that raps, but he wears like what is it, battle jacket, battle vest?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wears like a battle vest and stuff like that, and he's ostracized because he dresses like a fucking hood, is what they used to call us in school.
Hood.
That's what my fucking sister got me in trouble. My older sister got me in trouble one time, and she went to my parents and she was like, "I think Brian's a hood."
Uh-oh.
And my parents were like, "He's a fucking hood," and then they were like, "Brian, we're hearing you're a hood." And I'm like,
You had to have a very, very special conversation about
I did. I had to have a conversation about, and I was like, "What's a hood?" You know, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like,
It's a derogatory name we say about you and your friends.
yeah. They're like, "Well, you smoke and you're doing crime and you're skipping school and stuff like that." That's kind of what it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm doing all those. That's true. You do
I'm
have
a hood. Now I know I am.
Now you've identified me. Thank you.
Yeah, I finally found my place in life.
Yeah. So the other thing was all of them smoked weed. Every single one of the kids she thinks is cool smokes weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, she is on a precipice right now. And I feel like I am successful if she doesn't smoke weed till she's 18. That is a thing I'm putting on myself.
Really?
I am, because then I'll feel like I'll feel kind of bad if I find out she's getting high, because then I'll feel like that's my fault.
Yeah.
You know, I get high around her. She knows about it. I was honest with her about it all and stuff like that. And I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if she was smoking weed, but I think I would like her to stay away from it until she's 18.
Yeah.
Because it's just a good practice. And, you know, I've said this about teens before. It's just like, you're just not ready for it yet. And just, you know, hold off. You know, so I'm starting to look at it. I'm starting to think like, I might have to adjust my expectations.
Sure. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I think that it's hard because that is the attitude that like we kind of fight against. Like that's just an old parental way of thinking of things. Not to say that like, I would never tell her, or if she came
Help
to
her.
me, I would never be involved with that. But at the same time, it's like, a lot of people did it. You do share the same genes as your dad.
They lived, and thrived, and did well in the end.
I think, the point of my neighbor's like 20 years older than me, and he talked about how everybody treated you like a loser for smoking weed, and now it's like people are high all the fucking time. I don't think it's like the best habit, and I'm sure it messes with your brain in some way, but it also makes me effective, and it works for me. I waited until I was 18 too. I tried it when I was like once when I was like 14, but then I was like, didn't want to hang out. I basically didn't want to hang out with kids doing weed in high school.
Yeah.
And, you know.
That was kind of my explanation to her, was that like, you know, I was a loser for a very long time. And when I was in high school, I was not the type of person that you would want to be your dad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I was just like, you know, if you wait till you're 18, I'll fucking do it with you. But I don't really care.
I think it's the drinking. It's just like the drinking thing too. It's like you to expect them to never do it is stupid, and you're hypocritical if they do. But at the same time, you can be like, I mean, you do weed at the end of the day. It's like your 6-pack.
Yeah.
And everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in that neighborhood drinks a bottle of wine every single night. And that's perfectly fine. But you know, we have to like, we're still thinking of weed as like drugs. Like it's going to fuck up her life if she goes to college, she goes to school, gets her fucking studies done, and then blows some weed and watches fucking How High or something.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to ruin her life. And there's plenty of, it's not like it gets too prescriptive once again, where it's like if you try it, your life's going to be over.
I know
that's the kind of theme behind that thinking in a way.
And you're just trying to figure out how to not do that,
right?
But also discourage,
right? It's like
the use of this stuff
costs a shitload of money, and you know, it can take over, and that's all you do instead of going out and shit like that. You really have to be honest about it. Yeah. You know, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It doesn't solve everybody's problem, and it's not for everyone. and you need to know how to have a healthy relationship, and that's the tough conversation to have, is like how do you use this stuff in a responsible way versus like don't ever try it because it'll ruin your life.
Yeah, don't ever try it is not the smart way to go.
My 16, like, you hung out with a lot of loser guys, but I also had friends that smoked weed at 16 and moved to Mexico and studied abroad and became lawyers and moved to Australia and like worked for Google. And I have a lot of people that don't smoke weed anymore. There's like they gave it up years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know people that have gone on to do very cool things, and like I think I went on to do a pretty cool thing. So I'm like, I'm just trying not to be alarmist about it, but I also feel like a lot of my parenting stuff has felt very experimental to me, and like my older brother or my younger brother tells me a lot of times that he takes a lot of cues from me, and that like I sort of inspired a lot of the parenting that he did. And I think I did that with, I don't know how much influence I've had on other people, but I know that like you guys, a lot of our friends and stuff have watched Gwen grow up, and you saw how I did it. And like, it can be helpful to see somebody else how they do it. And you don't have to do it like me, but like there are things that I do that I think are pretty progressive for parenting, where like I want to prove that I did it right, I guess. Like that it wasn't a whole huge mistake, like being an anarcho dad. So
yeah, I agree.
So this story is from the New York Post.
Also, I think the wilder stuff of like not enforcing some of the rules, the old school stuff, like you have to be in bed. It's like, why, if you're awake? Like, it's the summer, who gives a fuck?
Curfew.
Yeah, other shit. And I mean, she seems to pretty much write herself out, like she found her own happy medium. You gave her full open throttle, and it's like, well, you can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, somebody was asking in a chat yesterday, how old were you when you first stayed home alone? And I had 4 brothers and sisters, so I was, kind of from the beginning, sort of. I mean, not from the very beginning, but, my sisters, I have an older brother and an older sister, a younger brother, younger sister. So there's always people there for me. I was never a lone guy,
right.
And so it was pretty young. My parents didn't have to, like, make that decision, basically. With Gwen, I think it was 10. When I said you can stay home by yourself, because like I don't judge things necessarily on age. I like look at the maturity level, and obviously sat down and said, hey, are you going to be okay to be here and stuff like that? And she was fine. And I don't know, the first few times it was just a couple hours, you know what I mean? But we went to Denver and she stayed home for a weekend.
At 10?
No, I think she was 13, maybe 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we went to Denver, when me, you, and our wives went to Denver, she stayed home.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Well, see, because it wasn't really staying home, my sister was sleeping there.
Oh.
But she wasn't there at all. She was just coming in at the end of the night and sleeping there. And my brother and his wife, were feeding her. She would like go to their house.
Got it.
She was sleeping at home.
Got it. Okay.
My sister didn't stay the night, but she was there a lot, and everybody knew she was home. So she was like going to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like yes. she was just going to bed, and there was nobody there. So, and I felt like she could handle it, and we had a huge conversation about it, and it worked out. So. Like, I just think you do these things also at a maturity level. The reason for the nerves about weed for me also is that, like, it's just the kind of things that can happen with, as a parent and their kid getting high. You know what I mean? Like, just the things like the government can get involved with.
Oh,
that.
right.
You know what I mean? That's another reason.
You're doing at a football game, and all of a sudden you get caught. Yeah.
Right. If the government wasn't going to get involved, I mean, like, I probably would be more open to younger experimentation. But, like, I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah.
I don't want to get my kid taken away from me. So I just tell her, you know, be careful. So anyway, the reason I brought up this teen stuff was because there was a New York Post article this week. And I want to read it to you, man. In a pandemic, oh my God, every website sucks. In a pandemic, no one knows you're underage. That's what Gen Z has discovered as they've updated the fake ID for the COVID-19 era, hitting up liquor stores dressed as elderly grandmas wearing coronavirus face masks. The prank has taken social media platform TikTok by storm, with videos of users bedecked as boozehound bubbies, seemingly victorious, bottles in hand, racking up millions of views. That you get liquor before you turn 21 is, we're sure, a bonus. PSA, use your fakes as much as possible because if you wear a mask, they can't see your whole face, LOL. One adolescent posted on her not legal age brethren. Now that we have to wear masks, this is the best time to buy alcohol with a fake ID since the early 80s. Stand-up comedian Jason Lawhead posted on Twitter.
I thought the same thing, actually.
I did too.
I was like, if I was a kid right now, I walked in, they didn't ask, I haven't been asked to pull my mask down. I have crow's feet, that's why. But if I was on one of these TikTok sites where they're showing people how to put wrinkles on their face and makeup, like to make people look older, like
the glasses,
tarnish your skin a little bit. Yeah.
The glasses.
Yeah. And so it's a brilliant idea. And I'm sure it's the shop owners don't care because they want to make sales too.
Yeah, and are they going to get in trouble? You know, like I mean, the government
that
could
you have them pull their mask down.
Yeah, it can't be. It shouldn't be. I mean, when I go to the Giant Eagle gas station, they do have a sign that says something like, if you're a kid, if you're, what is it? Like, we can ask you to take your mask down.
Okay.
To buy alcohol and tobacco.
Right.
They've never asked me, but again,
you can't go to the grocery store, man. You got to go to the corner store to pull this one off.
No, you could pull it off. I think it's easier to pull it off in a grocery store, to tell you the truth.
No way.
Because I think the cashiers care less there because...
they're not going to lose their whole business if they get caught.
Yeah. And the police, I don't think the police try to buy liquor at major supermarkets, you know? It's the same way with how they do...
Didn't people get set up at Kroger and shit?
Do they really? The police do it, though.
No, not the police. It's like Liquor ABC or whatever they're called. They go in and try to get served, like, underage.
And they do... Oh, my God. They do that at Kroger.
Yes, I believe they do.
I think they just do it at the smaller gas stations and convenience stores. Because there was a thing called Cops and Shops when I was a kid. And it scared the shit out of all of us. Because, like, I remember they announced it, and they were like, so... if you try to buy cigarettes, they'll throw you in jail, was the whole thing. Because they said that, like, you don't even... I think they were intimating that the people behind the counter might be a cop. And if you try to buy liquor or something, they'll bust you. But they also did a thing where they found people that were teens, and they would pay them, probably the kids of cops, they would have them go in and try and buy booze. And... you know, they pay them like $10 or something like that to try and go in and buy booze, and if they get them, then the guy gets in trouble.
Yeah,
and
I just remember, like, I used to go buy Black and Milds with my friend with just a note that said, "We're buying these from my dad."
Well, we were trying to buy. We tried that, but that did not work at all. They looked at us for 1 second and were like, "Nope."
But never beer. Beer, we had to just stand. We used to just stand outside and get a desperate guy to buy it for us.
Yeah. So I love teens. Their ingenuity inspires me every time.
This is great.
Very smart.
I love it. Also, I think it's a great mashup because the makeup stuff they're doing is incredible. Like, makeup is a huge part of my life now, in a way, and not because of my daughter or anything. Just my social media feed has so many incredible makeup artists on it that do the most amazing things I've ever seen, you know?
Yeah, I've seen.
And there's all kinds of tutorials for it, and there's people just use like anything to transform their whole face. It's fucking awesome.
Brett's gonna use makeup on a TV show.
You think so?
You think you'll end up doing it? I'm asking you.
Does it make you look greasy? Are you supposed to do it because so you don't look shiny? Is
Yeah,
that what
but we should look shiny, I think.
Where should be shiny?
I mean, I look like shit right now. There are wounds on every section of my body.
I am so greasy from building this carrying this shit around and going up and down the stairs doing my cleaning program. And I'm covered in like zits and grease.
Yeah. Yeah, I look bad right now. Like, I just have cuts all over my arms and legs from my fall, you know?
Your beard is crazy as hell. But
17 years after a deadly fire during one of their performances, rock band Great White has once again found themselves at the center of controversy after playing a concert where there were no rules for social distancing or wearing face masks amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. In footage from the North Dakota concert, which is part of an outdoor summer concert series, a jam-packed crowd could be seen without face masks as the band performs on stage. The concert takes place as nationwide guidelines remain in place, suggesting a minimum of 6 feet between people, as well as the use of face masks in an attempt to contain coronavirus and minimize the spread of COVID-19. So this happened last weekend. Me and Brett have been hanging out a lot because we've been both together working on a studio with Nick and stuff. And Brett knew about this story. And I
saw the picture.
I showed him right away, and I said, I'm going to show you a picture.
And so it's outdoors. Is it in like a city center or something? Like
I think
what is
so,
this? It looks like a town square stage. It looks like one of those like
St. Louis has
local arts like Worthington does. Like they have a little gazebo out there, and they'll let a 4-piece band set up. This seems like a little bit larger scale version of that. Really,
this in St. Louis, I remember. I think it was there's a little section in the middle of town. There's a bunch of businesses, and then there's an outdoor stage in the middle of that you could probably pack 2,000, 3,000 people into, and that's kind of the vibe I got from this.
And for people this is to fill them in, we don't have the audio. Great White is the band that sings "Rock Me."
You're giving it the wrong one.
Why?
Because that's the
Hold
wrong.
me through the night. Isn't that them?
I guess that I don't know.
I love that song.
But
and also I'm once bitten, twice shy, baby.
I mean, my favorite Great White song was called "Mista Bone," like Mistaah.
I see it.
Bone. That was like my favorite Great White song because I had the album with Once Bitten, Twice Shy because it was my favorite song. It must have come out when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and it was a record or a tape I bought.
Also, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say also Great White. For people that don't know, that's just to fill it in for younger folks. You know, we know we have a lot of people that didn't live through the 90s. But when was that? The 2000s they did that?
It might have been early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Maybe like 2099, 2000.
Great White.
2003.
Great White performed in a very small rock club, and they brought their pyro with them, right?
From
Twice shy, baby!
When they were the biggest band.
They still have the pyro set up from when it was 1992. And they burned down a whole club and killed some of their fans. How many?
Yeah, a lot. Like I think it was like 100.
Oh my god!
And their guitarist.
Oh my god!
So
that's horrific.
Most
dangerous band in America.
It is. You're really pushing your luck when you go see Great White.
They are, probably the most extreme death metal band in existence, I would say. I mean, that's truly madness to go spit all over each other.
I mean, what do you think about this? Like, the thing I've been thinking a lot about public gathering. I've been thinking a lot about public gatherings lately, right? Like outdoor public gatherings, like a festival, a band, or like
food truck
festival, anything.
Soccer game.
Where people go outside and gather.
Yoga in the park.
And I've been thinking a lot about it. And I've been thinking like, the way to curb this shit from happening is for everybody to just not do it. You know what I mean? Not do shows.
Right.
No shows, no audience, no outdoor gathering.
Yeah.
Right? But show business is so bad and so terrible that there will always be people willing to put on shows. And that is something that has been, we talked earlier, or we didn't even talk about this on the show, but Scully's, a local club here, doing some advertising, are putting on shows right now.
Oh, yeah. Despicable shows.
Yeah. Like those pay-for-play shows, right?
Yeah. You told me that Scully started doing shows again. I looked at the calendar, and like this weekend is an Azure Entertainment show.
Yeah, that's bad.
And I know there's a lot of band people that listen to Street Fight. I'm sure you've been contacted by one of these things before. What they do is they send you an email and say, hey, we do a showcase of great music in town, and you've got a wonderful social media following, and we like what you do. We'd love to slot you into the showcase.
I get those texts too. I don't know where they would get my info.
We were on band. We had something on Bandcamp, but forever ago.
All the stuff defaults to your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
They got my number. I don't know how.
Yeah. So what they say is like, yeah, it's going to be great. And you know what? There's going to be 10 other bands there, and they're going to bring their people with them too. So you're going to get in front of all these people. Now, all you got to do is sell 20 tickets, and they're $20 a piece. So what'll happen is on the date, if you owe us $400 to be in the showcase, and you'll do that by selling 20 tickets. Anything after that, you make $2 a ticket. If you don't hit the $400, you owe it to us. You have to buy the rest. You only sell if you can only get 12 people to come out. You're paying for 8 tickets, or that's coming out of your fucking pay.
I think you're basically just buy a stack of tickets.
Yeah. You have to spend $400 on the tickets, and then you have to sell
on a gig.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. So this week, and this is the thing. I think that a lot of entertainers are being pretty good. Because nobody's doing anything really, Well, let me look something up here real quick. But
you know what? I'm not like this a lot, and it's a capitalism thing. Like I hate to just go for it. It is that's a capitalism, because if they're going to be open, and if there's money to be made, and if there's going to be evictions happening, and if the rent is still due, I have to make money. Like, if I'm a band or performer, I have to make fucking money.
That's true. And when you look at stand-ups and stuff like that, it's like...
They don't have Patreons.
No.
A lot, they have second jobs. A lot of them are just delivery people.
Yeah.
It's, it's just a complete failure, and I think that maybe, the next wave, this red wave that'll happen, could scare enough people. But Mike DeWine gave a conversation today that really was grim. Yeah. He didn't tell anybody they had to do anything. He's too afraid of fucking Bubbas and camo truck people.
No,
he's just saying, come on, guys, we're Ohioans. It's Ohio against the world, and we can all get together and beat this thing by just wearing your mask. We got to get back to business. He literally ended it, said, let's get back to business. It's like, that's the fucking problem. Business is killing us. That's what's happening.
Exactly, yeah.
We could have shut down for 3 months hardcore and be more back to business than what we're about to be.
Well, everybody's performing, though. I mean, I'm not 100% sure these shows are going on, so I don't want to read the names of... Well, I don't fucking... What do I care? Like, I'm looking at the calendar for a comedy club in Oklahoma City that I was hip to a while ago. And they're Kevin Nealon, Michelle Wolf, TJ Miller, like, by the way, already canceled. Eddie Griffin doing a show, which is like, damn, I would love to go see Eddie Griffin. But does Eddie Griffin need to do a show? Eddie Griffin might need money.
You never know.
If he didn't save, and he has, Chad Prather, which is, of course, he's doing a fucking show. But also just doing your open mic night seems like, could you not do that?
Yeah.
At a minimum, do we have to do open mic or Roast-a-mania? You know?
Yeah.
I just, so then I'm thinking, like, so Great White, like, how many people, and we can't get a number, and I guess that's probably because it was a free show. you know, where the city paid for Great White to come, and it was just whoever showed up got to see it.
Boyz II Men came last year.
Yeah, and so they didn't explain how many people were there, but it looked packed. Is all I can say. Like, it looked in a way.
It was hundreds.
Where me and Brett looked at it and we got nervous.
It was hundreds.
Yeah, and we're not going to be able to put this back once the concerts really start going. Once it really is like, you know, I saw a tour poster for Fozzy doing a tour, which they're not a huge band or anything, but like it's still like they're getting ready to go out, you know. And there's got to be a few more that are like, we'll be the only game in town.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
And then and then we're telling people, man, just, you know, use hand sanitizer and wear a disposable mask and you're fine. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not fine.
I mean, I don't even know if you can. I mean, going to a concert. Oh, fuck it. I'm not going to be a baby because I was going to say going to a concert in a mask sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I also know that in Japan, they just did a wrestling show that sold 3,000 tickets. And they said that they had to clap and stomp. They weren't allowed to cheer. They weren't allowed to yell.
You weren't allowed to yell? Oh, like spit in the air?
Yeah, it was just clap and stomp. And that was how they got sound, which is like, God, fuck, we could never do that.
I know.
There would be a bunch of fucking rednecks in the audience screaming because they told them not to scream.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, the things we're going out to see, that's the thing that's driving me nuts. Like, so with Scully's, it's like upcoming events right now. 90s and Now. A Scully's 90 and Now dance party featuring DJ Chuck Starr. Come dance your quarantine blues away. Like, do we have to do that? Is that, could...
Yeah, because they have rent to pay.
I know. And that's
DJ Chuck Booty, what's his name?
Chuck Starr.
Chuck Starr.
He wants you to dance your quarantine blues away.
Okay.
It's just using it in the advertising to remind you that you're supposed to still be in your house.
Dude, it's I mean, that's what it does. It preys on your fucking emotions like that.
Hard Reset 4, and it's just a bunch of, like, EDM. It's EDM and DJs. And then Sunday, July 19th, it's just called Reggae. Reggae on the patio. And they're so that one, okay, you can do reggae on the patio. Have the fucking if you gotta do it, mask up and do reggae on the patio. I'm fucking 100% fine with that.
Yeah.
But it is just so fucking hard to watch. People are being, the government is making this happen.
Yeah.
The government that could have really proved like, hey, we're useful. You know what I
Right.
like, didn't it feel like the government would be useful?
No.
Like, no.
That's the lie, though.
Yeah. You didn't ever think like, well, if something really crazy happens, the government will do something, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I can honestly answer that.
I always felt like if shit got really serious, that something would kick in and there would be people who are mature and can handle whatever this thing that happens is. And, you know, maybe this is because, like, after 9/11, like, George Bush had, like, a 90 or 80-something% approval rating.
Yeah.
And, like, we all...
It was different.
A lot of us thought he did really well, and you felt like he was measured, and he spoke... You did it. Obviously, Brett's looking at me like, I didn't think that. And it's like, but, like, most people were like, well, he's handling it well.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, and he did everything that you're supposed to do, and he was measured about it. He didn't, like, if 9/11 happened under Trump, like, imagine the speech. Imagine the fucking speech on that day.
Yeah.
You know? And like, nothing happened. They can't even protect us at all. There's no protection happening. You know, all those wars were just us being aggressive and going over there and killing people to show that, like, I don't even, like, to take resources from them and do regime change and put friendly people in office and whatever other reasons that you go do war. For oil. They did that for oil, too. But anyway, like, they can't do shit. They have shows. They have an interstellar funk show going on at Scully's. You know? Like, you're gonna fucking die to go and... I mean...
Not even die, just kill a family member. Kill a neighbor.
Yeah. I just wish that they wouldn't do it, you know? I wish that
it's just like, this is what it is. Like, this is our culture. This is what freedom is to these people. Freedom to not ever be told or to not have the government ever do anything. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's really just the way that we parse up the money is what the government is like a way for them to filter the money to themselves and upwards, you know?
Yeah, and the more I look at this, it doesn't look like there are any national bands on this tour, because it does feel like national bands have the ability to not tour. Like the big bands.
Yeah.
Right? Or even mid-level. I mean, obviously...
I'm on honestly, my Bands in Town app gets updates all day long with live streams. Like, all the artists I follow are doing, like, live stream stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like Dan Deacon's the first, like, national act, and he's booked for October 20th.
In what?
At Scully's.
Oh, okay.
It's an indoor bar. It's very small. Who knows? Listen, I will say that they are not following the capacity rule. I'm not going to accuse Scully's of it. I'm saying that a lot of bars definitely aren't paying attention to the capacity, because I've been in bars. I've worked with bars, and I know that they don't really pay as close of attention to the capacity as you might think that they do.
Yeah, it's I mean, you know what I was thinking about it today is also with COVID is it's kind of like STDs, and that like you do have to manage people and like tell them what to do and give them access to condoms and care and stuff, because it's the same way where like, oh, they're a cool person, they seem clean, and then you don't use protection.
Yeah.
In the same way with the mask is like everybody's like, you know, some people come over and visit my house like once a month, and like it's like, I don't come inside.
Yeah.
Just don't fucking come
Let's
inside.
just stand outside.
Yeah. If you're dropping something off, like just wear a mask, please.
Let's stand outside 6 feet apart.
Right.
That's the move. Right. So
people aren't respecting it. People are just like pushing people are pushing the boundaries. It doesn't seem like everybody is actually, I think, relieved to see one of their friends, because they're like, oh, I can take this fucking mask off and we can scream at each other's faces now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you brought this up. Walt Disney World has established some pretty strict guidelines for its reopening regarding face masks at its various hotels and theme parks. Face masks with ear loops are required for all guests under the age of 2. And as we've learned through recent updates, you're not allowed to wear a bandana or one of those things that comes up over your face even. You have to wear a face mask with a thing that comes around your ears.
You can't. Oh, at Disney World, you can't wear your, what's that thing called? Gator? Neck gator?
Yeah, that's what it says. No gators will be allowed. Once inside the park, face masks must remain on at all times, except when you're actively eating or drinking or inside a designated mask-free relaxation station.
What? Yeah,
what's a mask-free relaxation station? Like, what? Who? Did you build a room for every single person that's going to come there every single day?
Yeah, is this a private? You're just gonna filter people. You're gonna make one place where everybody can go and take off their masks and breathe together.
I mean, it's odd, right? Because like,
sounds like the Coca-Cola refresh station they used to have at the amusement park. They would just have those misters next to all the Coke machines. Do you remember that?
Yeah. This is weird, man. It's just a Tomorrowland, and it's on a terrace, and you can go and just sit at a table without a mask on. Guests can remove their mask and enjoy some downtime while spaced 10 feet apart from other parties inside the relaxation zone.
And this is because they have to, because business as usual is happening.
Yeah.
This is there is no, like, the government is not going to step in and say, let's shut everything down so that our hospitals don't get overwhelmed, you know?
And businesses can't be trusted to do the right thing ever.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It just
nobody can.
No.
Nobody that has to make money to fucking live can be trusted to be that committed. You
Yeah.
have to make decisions to
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. I mean, but I think, like, there is a level of safety that is like, okay, you know, I'm going to take some risks in my life. But I think that you can have some pretty, I don't know, like, you can be relatively lenient, I think. Like, I don't think I mean, for me, it's just like, there are people that are way more careful than I am, and there are people that are way less careful than me.
Sure.
And I think there is somewhere in there where it's like, look, if you're in a store, wear a mask. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're in public, wear a mask. And like, I also think you shouldn't go in public unless you absolutely have to. I don't want to take trips to Target.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to go to any place.
Now is not the time for any of that.
I know. Where people are gathering. I don't
Yeah.
want to go, and I don't think Disney World should be open.
Yeah, and we made the same mistake. We stupidly went to Tennessee to that fucking national park that's just like a Disney World outside.
Yeah. I mean, but I think, like, most of the time we were quarantined, and you guys were all wearing masks.
Right.
I wasn't there, so.
Right, but everybody else was like, "Oh, we're outside. It doesn't matter." And this path is only 36 inches wide. Let's all just scooch past each other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I wish I would have just had Lysol canisters on me to spray people away.
It's like bug spray.
Yes.
Get the fuck
Get
away.
outta here.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, with the I wish they would not have like amusement parks open. Like,
Which,
there's
once
these
again,
minimal things.
yes,
Is what I'm saying when I talk about the continuum
yes,
of action, is that, like, let's just, like, can we do the bare fucking minimum and not have Walt Disney World open, or like not have Cedar Point or Kings Island, or like don't do concerts, don't do comedy shows? Can we do, like, that is a very minimal level, right? And can the government somehow help us not do that? Like, there's no again, if there was money coming in for a lot of these comics, I'm fairly certain we could talk them into not going and doing comedy.
Hey,
you know?
I'm an independent contractor. I owe these motherfuckers $5,000 right now
Yeah.
for my taxes.
I know. I know.
Everybody that, you know, the refund thing, if you got a refund, you paid taxes. They take 30% of our money out of our check and give us 10% of it back.
Yeah.
They are taking all of our fucking money and do nothing for us, and they're going to have an explosion of healthcare crisis. They're going to fucking waste all this money closing and shutting down over and over again. They could have done that Bernie Sanders and squad thing. They could have paid us $2,000 a month to everyone for 3 months, made all the grocery stores fucking deliver, get rid of all fucking movement, and then we could come back. We could do contact tracing and quarantining. Like, the blueprint is there. I think that when you talk about the government, like, I'm just so frustrated with them. I like, that's why I wake up depressed and miserable every day, is that, like, the people in charge aren't fucking adults and aren't mature and don't have empathy and aren't one of us and don't give a fuck. And then you read about other places. I'm at the luxury of, we get to talk to people from all over the flat earth on this fucking call-in show and hear what's happening in other places. And so it's like, we're not in the dark. It's not like this is a calamity that is facing the entire world. This is our uniquely fucking stupid problem that we're just keep kicking ourselves in the fucking nuts over and over again.
Right. I was thinking about it. Well, not thinking about. I was talking to John, my co-host on the POD cast. I'm talking to him, and, like, when we talk, he's like, "So how's everything going down there?" And it's like, well, it's here. I mean, it's like, I will say that like, just like after 9/11, when the missiles didn't shoot out of the Pentagon and shoot the plane down, this has really
laid bare.
This is another, like, thing where it's like,
The veneer is off.
No reason to have it.
There's
not
no
here
reason
at
to
all.
have
a United States.
Yeah,
they're
this
not here.
United
They can't do anything.
Yeah, they're not for us. They're not like they just claimed us anyways. Like
Yeah.
no one agreed to be a part of the United States. They are fucking money and don't provide anything for it. I want out of this contract. I think I should be able to form a new fucking system myself.
Wish we could give them. I just.
Can we buy our way out like a mafia deal or something?
Yeah, I would love that. I would be like, I would give them more of my money if I was getting stuff for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to take me as being like a taxes or theft guy. I would give them 90% of my money if they were making sure everybody was fucking taken care of and that we could handle a crisis like this. You know what I mean? Like, that would be nice. It would be like having a security system in your house.
Right.
You know? Very nice. It's like putting but we have the sign in front of the house that doesn't have the system.
The 1495.
Yeah.
This home is secured by ADT sign.
Yeah. We have... America is that. Like, it's just a fake thing that says, hey, we
have the flag. That's all they have, and that's their most proudest thing. We have a flag that we can wave. That's what we have whenever we feel bad or whenever we feel like we're other places are more free because they can do drugs, they can marry as many people as they want. You know, we just have to wave the flag, say, well, nobody else can wave this flag. That's all we get.
That is everything. I guess we could like sit down with our family and read the founding documents.
Yeah.
I read an article from one of these professors that is like cancel culture. You know what I mean? Complaining about it. I started reading it. First damn chapter of it, he is like, much like every other July 4th, on July 4th, 2020, I had sat around the table with my family and we read the Declaration of Independence together. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
This is like nerds. Is that a thing that people do?
That seems likely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's lots of kids that listen to this show that their dad did that to them.
My parents
Pocket Constitution people got kids, man.
I know. Pocket Constitution people, they're the ones that I look at because they should know better. Pocket Constitution people should know better, I guess.
That's time to do a new government? Because it says, doesn't it say in that, like, redo the government? Like,
yeah, they always say that, though. They'll tell you that. They're like, sometimes you have to just fucking redo the government, you know? And the founding fathers, they said we had to do that.
Yeah, we're trying to right now.
Let's do it. And they're like, well, not now. Everything's going fucking great.
No,
wait till after I'm dead.
They meant redo the government, like, make America more stronger and keep doing everything the same, but more increase the cruelty.
Yeah. Patriotism is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It is really wild that somebody could be proud of this country.
For doing nothing. For just being born here.
And being proud of like being like, it's kind of like somebody who lives in Columbus, right? And they loved Ohio State Buckeyes their whole life just because they were born there. You know what I mean? And then they love them, right? And then there's the people who don't care about the Ohio State Buckeyes, but they fucking went to school there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you know, it's nice to see them do well. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whatever. And like, I feel like I would love to be somebody that like judges it on its merits. There's people like me who are like, well, the football team seems kind of evil. I don't like the way they don't pay the athletes or anything like that. I was born here. I did graduate from the college, but you know, yes, I would be okay with football, but unfortunately not under this system. So I think it's bad and they should end it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the kind of person I think everybody should be. Because, or like they should keep it, but I have put some thought into it, and you know, and like we're just like, we're born here, and then we're supposed to just say it's the best thing in the world and never bring up. I mean, we can bring up problems with it, right? But the solution is never get rid of it. It's over. I hate this.
Yeah, or like it failed, or like it's not working. Like it's never bad. It never needs fixing. It's never broken. These people are so tied to it as being the only and best way to do things, and it's a fucking lie. And it's like all the evidence is there. You know, we're last in all of these fucking metrics, and we're the freest country in the world with 25% prison population, and none of it makes sense.
None of it's good. There's
But
not
like
a
they
good
were born,
stat.
people said you're the luckiest person in the world. You were born in America,
That's
and they
true.
told us that since we were fucking 1 year old.
That's true, though. Yeah,
And you didn't have to do anything for it. That's the best part.
That's
I'm American.
that's the part I like.
I don't have to do anything. Sure, some people die for it. That's stupid. I shouldn't have. I didn't ever ask anybody.
Yeah.
But like being American is just a matter of like where you were born.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and then, like I said, being claimed by him too, because I would have chose something different if I had an option.
I mean, also just like the America aesthetic. It's like I'm not into
Yeah, none of it works
the
for me.
flag or the Eagles or
The
any
cars
of
are
that stuff.
cheap and fall apart. Like they're horrible.
Yeah, I'm not into like the Eagle. I'm not into any of the stuff. It's like what I always say about Christianity. It's like I could get into Christianity, right? But the whole thing sucks.
American
You know, it's
Jesus
not
is
cool.
bad. It's all American Jesus here for
Yeah.
the most part, and it's awful.
And-
it's that profit PROFIT shit.
Yeah. So, I wish we could just take an eraser to the Constitution. How would that be? That would be something.
I mean, I say start over, man. I say just a burn it type.
Yeah,
sitch.
burn it. I wish you could do something like.
We can come up with something.
Yeah.
Just an agreement, regular old agreement.
Yeah. A new thing.
Yeah.
I think I came up with this on Holy Boys, but I was just like, let the cities govern themselves and then let the suburbs govern themselves.
Yeah, it's
right?
hard
That's
to do.
two countries. That's the blue state and a red state.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking state. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But we do need some land.
Yeah.
Right? We need some farmland, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we can still be friendly
call.
with them and stuff too, but they can
They're
MAGA
hellish
and all that
people.
stuff out there. Yeah, they're horrible.
If they got the chance, man, they're just going to try to slaughter us all.
Yeah. Well, we would definitely have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because they would be like, we got to go to war with the cities now.
Yeah.
You know? And I assume they would build their own libertarian cities, like that one Glenn Beck was going to build that never got done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
His Gulch.
Gulch.
Yeah.
The real one.
Yeah. For real. All right. I think that's the show, my fella.
I did have some stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Remember I
sorry.
told you?
Yeah, you did tell me. Let's do it. I'm sorry. We've got an hour and a half.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the time.
Okay, go ahead.
So strap in. We've got some more to go.
Well, yeah, hey, I go as long as I can. I go as long as you want. I do gotta pee though.
Okay. I'm out of water.
Can we take like a short silence break on the thing and come back and finish?
Yeah. We need like a sign that we can just put up on the wall behind us.
Yeah.
I don't know where paper is at right
Hey,
now.
we'll be back. We'll be back in like
I just gotta run and grab some water.
a few minutes. I'm gonna pee. Damn it! I fucked that up. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. How's the chat going? We will continue with this. If you want more Street Fight, oh my goodness, we got raided, huh? If you want more Street Fight, check it out at patreon.com. We have all kinds of extra bonus content, audio, video, and zines. Me and Brian are working on doing a new premium series about metal. We got some guests. We don't have them all nailed down yet, but some of them are exciting. We'll let you know when that's coming up soon. We're going to be at BugCon, the virtual convention, this Saturday. So stay tuned. Check social media. We'll post links wherever they're at, and I'll put it on the Patreon as well. So thank you for sticking around. I know this is a very long stream, longer than we normally do, but I wanted to get some listener stories in here. We do the call-in show every Sunday night from 9 to midnight, and some of you don't want to talk. you know, not good storytellers, not comfortable on the phone, don't want to wait, you know, hour and a half, work, whatever it may be, it's completely understandable. So if you ever want to send in a story, emails, memos, or emails from your shithead bosses, you can do that. Send it to streetfightradio@gmail.com. DM it to the Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and we will get it on the show. Can you see the chat?
Nope.
You can't?
No, I can. I could go look at it. I try not to.
Oh, it's fine. It's just lagging on me. I just wanted to make sure everyone could still hear us.
No, I don't have it up there.
I think we got raided as soon as we got our moment of silence going there.
Raided?
Yeah, somebody... Oh, man, it's happening. It is happening.
What?
Some assholes in the chat are, like, fucking up our thing. Yeah, we have to shut it off.
We have to shut the chat off?
Yeah, I can't keep up with it. I can try, but it's awful.
Huh.
Thank
now
you.
They're probably loving this.
Yeah, this makes them feel good, I guess. Well, you know what? I guess we can just keep go. I guess we'll just shut it down. I can't figure out. We need to come up with a contingency plan for this. Of course, my computer is like. Can you? Oh, I can. Can I shut the chat off? I feel like I can do that. But yeah, of course, my fucking laptop, HP fucking bullshit ass laptop.
I don't know how to shut it off. I don't know how any of this works.
It's fine.
I say, we just end it and do it later.
All right, everybody. It's time to go. Peace.